Gorgu had ingested enough evilness to remain in the guise of the Dungeon Lord for an extended period of time. But Tanos was also able to strengthen himself somewhat. Both opponents now faced one another in an implacable duel. Imagine here some quick camera cuts to the grim faces of the two opponents, like the ones you used to see in the anime series of your youth. The stare-down could fill out several volumes all by itself, but just for you, we've condensed that down to one line of dialogue. Then the two opponents began to throw wildly powerful missiles at each other's ears. But such an epic battle, with unusual attacks and such, took its toll, and both sides retreated for a short breather.
Men, despair not. It is time to prepare for the final battle. Fight at my side. Together, we will destroy evil once and for all!
This rousing speech, together with the threat of beatings in the case of non-compliance, served to mobilize Tanos' reaming heroes. It would certainly make sense for Talia to support Gorgu as well.
Really? I thought Gorgu would make short work of Tanos now. After all the stress of the previous mission. Is someone trying to grind out a little extra game time? But hey, fine, don't let anyone say I let evil down. I'll throw wave after wave of my creatures at Tanos if I have to. Up you get, you lazy bums. Pick yourselves up, build a dungeon, raise an army, and severely rearrange Tanos' teeth.
ということで、いよいよタノスと G ダークロードの戦いが始まりました。
タノスと G の実力は互角。我々も軍備を強化して援護しましょう。
The clash of the giants was at hand. They would meet over there.
Excellent. Good to know. Then I'll get the troops hurt and give them a taste of the leather. I mean, put the troops on alert and pull them together. Damn it.
Tanos and Gorgu had recovered enough and once again joined in fervent battle. A duel worthy of mention in the history books was in the offing. Gorgu was just getting a feel for what it was like to actually be the Dungeon Lord. He had meanwhile discovered additional powers. Thus it was possible for him to heal himself on the one hand and to execute a powerful additional attack on the other. However, it took him a while to gather the strength for these skills.
The little rugrat really does have a few tricks up his sleeve. Wonderful! Those are just the things needed to smack Tanos right in the kisser. Forward, Gorgu! Kick the old man's butt!
Faithful to me! Support me in my fight against evil!
Heroes set out to attack Gorgu. It was probably very sensible for the outwitted evil to take some countermeasures.
Like hell! Creatures to Gorgu! Support him in his fight against the good, evil, good? Ugh, I have no idea what Tanos is even supposed to represent anymore. Anyway, bash his head in, stick it in a blender and make yourself some cocktails.
The Dungeon Lord used a particularly powerful attack against Tanos. Gorgu's regenerative ability was breathtaking. Some of his wounds quickly closed back up.
G ダークロードはコマンドにより、敵への攻撃と回復を実施できます。
普通に殴り合ってる分にはダメージレースで勝てそうですね。
しかし、こちらの軍がタノスを狙うように、英雄たちも G を狙ってきます。放っておくと G が消耗してしまうので、しっかり梅雨払いをしましょう。
Skills was once again available. Both Gorgu and Tanos withdrew yet again to recuperate. Talia and the army training evil took advantage of this brief respite to regroup. Heroes who had planned to do battle with Gorgu now made their way into the dungeon after all.
これを何回か繰り返すだけのキャンペーンです。
タノスと G の休戦中にしっかりと軍備を整えたいですね。
Tanos and Gorgu appeared once again, ready to face one another in a third battle. I hope this was the finale, as we're running out of battlefields. The Dungeon Lord's skills were ready to use again. Gorgu's regenerative ability was breathtaking. Some of his wounds quickly closed back up. Gorgu used his most powerful blow in the fight against Tanos. Tanos' followers also...
結構苦戦しましたね。
普通のキャンペーンに比べて時間的余裕がないので、効率よく軍を強化することが重要です。初見だったので G の体力が半分を切ってしまいました。G の体力を 70% に維持すると、実績が解除できます。
This can't be true. Good must triumph.
Ha! Take that, old man. At first, I thought it was stupid of Tristan to resurrect you, but I've reconsidered. You are such a crazy frickin' scumbag that you really do deserve to die twice for this.
But with the last of his strength, Tanos managed to use the Gauntlet of Finitude. What happened next is so blatant that we have to show it in a cutscene.
結構単調なキャンペーンだったので、今回は短めです。ご視聴ありがとうございました。
The battle between Tanos and Dungeon Lord Gorgu raged. Both opponents assumed their best anime fighting poses, sized up their opponent, and then exchanged blows, magic missiles, and/or telepathic insults. But even though the fight dragged on due to Gorgu's inexperience, the end was predestined. Tanos was forced further and further into the defensive. In his distress, Tanos saw himself with only one remaining option. He took the stones of finitude and stuffed them into his mouth. Tanos was bathed in an unnatural light, with flames rising from his eyes. He grew and grew as his muscles swelled and his body deformed. This discharge hurled the stones of finitude away yet again and scattered them in all directions. In his new form, Tanos was now significantly stronger than the inexperienced Gorgu, and with one mighty blow, the mutation hurled the Dungeon Lord in training to the side. Then the creature turned towards Talia. Its eyes began to flash. Destructive laser beams, yes, that's really what it says here, shot out of its eyes toward the Dark Elf to destroy her. But this was the moment for heroes, and so Tristan pushed his stepsister Talia aside, out of the line of fire. So now, instead of Talia, Tristan was scorched by Tanos' laser eyes. Talia had no time to check on her stepbrother, but fled as fast as she could.
トリスタン。